What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and we have ourselves a patch update, Retold update 17.36100. Welcome to an exciting October update covering a host of fixes in quality of life improvement, stability, and performance fixes. Yes, especially in the scenario editor and late game matches. Yes, I've been plagued by some of these already. New UI and social features, including multiplayer lobby browser updates with improved filtering options, along with improvements to the save load menus, and finishing off with gameplay improvements to unit AI behavior and formations, improved villager tasking on drop sites, as well as addressing animation and visual issues. I'm hoping that this UI thing means our multiplayer lobby browser is going to be very, very nice. I think this means we might be able to start finding games really, really easily in that multiplayer lobby browser. Let's scroll down and see what they've got to say. Stability and performance. Fixes for various situations where a crash could occur. It doesn't give us a whole lot of information what this means, but any sort of changes to this to prevent crashing is going to be really, really good. I did hear about a cheeky little crash thingy or problem with the Intel GPUs happening. Glad that's fixed. Fixed for crash on some GPU. Exactly, yes. Fixed a performance issue that could occur when placing town centers in the scenario editor or in late game matches. Wonderful. Various minor fixes for stability and performance. Fix for a situation causing an out of sync when Wonder Age affected a formation. Wonderful. Improved performance when refreshing the current state of your friends list. Not exactly sure what that means in terms of like, are we refreshing our friends list very often? But good that that's fixed. Fixes for some situation when causing loading and save games to fail. Updates to save game formats have happened to ensure ongoing future stability in later patches. If you experience problems with saved games from previous patches, please contact support. Fixed an out of sync that could occur when multiple players experience a connection interruption simultaneously in a short period. Okay, localization. Updated for localized strings, fixed for truncation in some screens when using some languages on controller. This should mean that players playing in a different language are going to have a little bit of a better time with said language in the game. Oftentimes these things can be a little bit hit or miss from the translators on games because they don't really just have the experience to know what things mean in the game. So it's going to be one of those things that's a work in progress. If you are playing in a different language and you notice something really weird, put it into the Age of Empires forums. Let them know. They'll fix it, I'm sure. Nonetheless, achievements. Fixed for some achievements unlocking before the intended criteria was met. Well, okay. I want my achievements. I don't care if I get them or not. Fixed a bug causing incorrect animation blending to be applied during some birth animations. VFX updates for Asgardian Bastion, Ironhurry, Valkyrie, set monuments, and more. Cool. The set monuments were already updated, right? They're going to give me some more for that. That's really nice. Hopefully this Asgardian Bastion just looks more and more epic. I can't wait to jump in and see what that looks like. Fixed flickering that could occur on the summoning tree unit. Targets hit by the UFO's attack will now have the burning shader effect applied. Lovely. Get that UFO, guys. For those of you who don't know, Dev ASD, little cheat code to get yourself some UFOs and a whole bunch of resources as well. A triple Z visual effect now displays above idle villagers. Nice little quality of life feature there. It's going to show you your villager is idle in your face. You're never going to be having idle villagers ever again. Nidhogg's range indicator will now display a more accurate path. I've been having this Nidhogg be really challenging to use. I have seen people using it really, really well, so there probably was a way to make it work. I got to jump in the editor and see if I can figure it out, but with the range indicator here helping, that's going to be much easier. Fixed a bug causing Z fighting between water and land in some situations on the edge of the world. What is Z fighting? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what that means, unfortunately. I can't even take a guess. You're going to have to get someone else. I'm very sorry about that. Fixed the bug causing centaur arrows to appear incorrectly when their scale increases. I guess this is when you get Wonder Age. Minor visual updates for some units. Oh, cool. Hopefully this could be the halberdier throwing axeman deal, and maybe the Hippaspis Peltas deal where they're just a little bit too similar. Anyways, minor ongoing visual improvements to many areas of the UI. Can't wait to see what that looks like. Player relationships for units can now be seen in the unit stat panel. Notifications of a full building production queue can no longer be displayed more than once in a row. Notifications of a full building production queue can no longer be... I think that might be to stop the spammage showing up in your... You know how when you like trying to build a building or train a unit out and you don't have resources, it's like, you don't have resources, you don't have resources. And it just goes and fills the entire queue. I think that's what that means. Fixes for the social panel UI related to handling friend requests for friend lists will now appear in a sorted order. Favor gather count for in the UI for Norse now correctly accounts for Goatees. Wonderful. Fix the client's UI not knowing the current download progress of save games. Fantastic. Fix the spectator HUD power bar colors not updating when... Wonderful. Let's go, spectator. This is a thing that everyone was like, why isn't the thing changing? Now it changes. Happy days. The browse game lobby is now searchable by game ID URLs, and player names. I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now. My life has just become so much more easy. Wonderful. Improvements to the multiplayer game browse screen. The list should now show a more complete collection of available games. The screen will no longer prevent you from selecting games when some items in the list have populated. Improvements to the filter functionality to find relevant games. Old games that are stale and no longer active or joinable should be much less likely to appear on the list. Okay, I'm hoping that this means I can spectate custom games now. I'm hoping that's what that means. We were having issues with this in a show match I ran recently, and I know other people have had issues with us. I think this is what that means, but I can't guarantee yes or no until we try it out. 4v4 ranked and quick play is now available when queuing for automated matchmaking. Wow, sick. 4v4 ranked, let's get it. Fixed a bug causing a graphics warning dialog to continue showing after selecting do not show again. Okay. Fixed loading dialog can now sort by the time. Okay. Fixed a bug causing chat messages to appear twice. Hey, I've had that one. Lovely. I think I've had it happen with like 3 times in a row or something as well. Fixed an issue when the in-game tech tree where it could not be properly navigated using my controller buddies. I feel for you. Fight the good fight. Keep fighting it. Right-clicking minor god portraits will now pre-queue the age up. That's awesome. I've been so annoyed by this so many times when I want to pre-queue my dude and I left click and then I right-click on the thing and it goes, no. And I'm like, what? I can't. Oh, I have to right-click. So this is a great quality of life. Happy days. Fixed a bug causing mods intended to be safe for ranked and not being treated as safe. For example, mods including modifications to the 4K UI and some data mods such as string mods should now be safe for the ranked. Lovely. Update to party invite searching to search while typing and allow partial name searches on unknown friends. Minor visual improvements to the mods menu, quality of life improvements to the let save, fixed a bug causing whisper chats to not receive properly. The tech tree, learn tab, and chat are now all available when queuing for games. Yes, I got something to do. While I can learn about the game while I queue for my game. Awesome. Fixed a bug preventing queuing for matchmaking when leaving and re-entering matchmaking quickly. Hotkeys, control double click on Atlantean citizens will avoid selecting units that are not performing the same gathering hunting action type. Not performing. I think what this means is you can control double click on a Atlantean citizen. Now, maybe you could already do this on normal villages and it just wasn't working on Atlantean villages, and it's all the villages that are doing the same type of action. Not performing the same. Hang on. Yes, exactly. That's a weird way of wording that. I'm a bit confused, but I like it. Hotkey conflicts are now taken into account when trying to reset hotkeys. Units currently empowering a building are now excluded from select all heroes / military units hotkeys. That is awesome. That's what we want. That's what we want. Now I can use my select all heroes hotkey and my Pharaoh or priests are not going to come to the party. I do kind of want now a hotkey where I can bring all of them to the party without having to go and locate them on the map, but beggars can't be choosers. All right, fixed a bug causing the find land military hotkey to also to find naval units. Okay, fantastic. That's exactly good. All right, Xbox and controller legends. Easy military drag select now an option for Xbox. Updates the minimap quality of life for controller players. Added navigation waypoints to the controller minimap. Units added through custom map scripts will now appear in the controller ring menu. Added a new option for fast panning the minimap in controller mode. Livestock and fishing boats can now be moved in the controller minimap. Marquee selection will no longer function when in the controller minimap mode. Fixed instructions specific to the controller that were showing incorrectly in some scenarios and menus. Fixed a bug causing gather points to not behave as expected while in the minimap mode with a unit hovered by the controller cursor. Attack move can now be issued through the controller minimap. Command all military can now be used in the controller minimap. Ongoing polish and improvements for the controller UI and functionality. I love this. Lots more little quality of life features here for the Xbox players and for controller players on the PC, whomever you may be. Shout out to Yo Dessler. You guys are legends. Keep fighting the good fight. All right, gameplay. This is where the things get big. Fixes for unit AI behavior on drop sites. Villagers will be properly tasked onto nearby dead herdables after building right-clicking on a drop site. Okay. Fix unit formations that caused units to stand on the other side of large obstacles such as mountains or rivers when the formation positions collided with the environment. Improve formation behavior when the wall splits the formation. Fix the transport bug causing units to not ungarrison on the shore in some situations. Chain attack actions will no longer cause units to become uncontrollable. Ooh. I could be wrong about this, but I think this just buffed the Son of Osiris. And any other chain attack unit. I think now you can animation cancel the Son of Osiris. That's kind of huge. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. All right. I think that's what that means. Villagers can now, this might have balance implications, but this is a very, very common thing in modern RTS games, and I think this has to be in the game. If it's too good now to attack with villagers, too easy to repel raids by attack moving with your villagers, maybe the damage of villagers just needs to go down. I really, really like this. This is fantastic. Big thumbs up from me. Villagers are now treated as idle if they cannot build or build a building they have been tasked to help with. Fantastic. Herdables now die in one hit to prevent unintended favor gains by Norse players. What does this mean? You still get, I believe, 2 favor from the herdable. I think what was happening is you were while the last hit on the herdable that the villager was doing was more damage than the herdable had HP wise, and I think that was giving them extra favor, more favor than they should have been getting from it. Could be wrong, but this also means now herdables will get hit in one shot to die, to get killed and get gathering from. So it's a buff on herdables, as well as the Norse players won't be able to do any sort of really quick favor openings onto a certain technology, unless they want to kill all of their herdables, which honestly, it might not be a terrible idea to do that. Just eat all the herdables first, then move over onto your hunt if you want to be going for a really fast tech play or something. It's going to be meaning you have to jump on the farms faster, but is what it is. Fixed selection of settlements during construction stages. Not exactly sure what that means. Alt-right clicking a sky passage will now correctly garrison units with it, except when it can be repaired. Fantastic. It's so natural to alt-right click on a sky passage, even though it kind of is the same as a underworld passage, which is just right click on it. This is quite nice, I think, to have both. Fixed a bug affecting behavior when ejecting units from sky passages. Fixed a bug causing heroized units on Lush to not receive their speed bonus from channels. Wonderful. We have to get that channels technology more often. Atlantean Oracle favor rate reduction logic no longer accounts for garrisoned oracles. Cool. Implode no longer pulls in hurtables. Proto unit cost modifications done through technologies no longer allow cost values to go negative. Cool. Placing a town center on a settlement in the Fog of War will now refund the player if another player has already built that one. Fantastic. This was a bug that I think players probably weren't noticing all too much, but definitely was plaguing some games unknowingly. Huntables that die from dot damage, such as poison, no longer lose all resources. My Wadget can now push animals. Happy days. When tasking a unit performing a charged action toward a new target that is out of its current range, the animations are now reset to prevent attacks on incorrect units. The rock can now land on empty farms. Carnivore arms are no longer selected with select myth unit hotkeys when casting Citadel over a town center. When casting Citadel over a town center while researching my god, aging up progress is preserved. Fantastic. Fixed a bug causing Dwarven Mine to give one less gold total than intended when fully gathered. I'm pretty sure I'm still getting a straggler tree bug as well. I'm not anyways, beside the point, wasn't fixed, it looks like. Region is no longer considered a military unit and now has hero scaling per age. Lovely. What a time to be alive. Very, very exciting. Okay, Greek. All of this stuff is campaigns. All of this stuff is just little mini stuff, right? There's nothing. There's balance tuning and stuff. There's nothing kind of new here. There's no new stuff, right? Okay, there's no new stuff. They took my fix. They get my prosperity. Anyways. Okay, general buildings. Fortress type building hack armor increased from 30% to 40%. That means that melee units, hack damage units are going to be taking longer to kill that building. So it's going to be able to live for a little longer. Okay, technologies, champion cavalry. Research time increased from 20 to 40 seconds, slowing down any sort of mythic age power spike with champion cavalry. I'm not sure off the top of my head what the research time on champion infantry or archers is, but something is telling me just that they might all be 40 seconds. And this one was just unintentionally at 20 seconds, but I don't know. Can't remember off the top of my head. But at any rate, bit of a nerf to the champion cavalry timing there. Guard towers, tower damage increased from 40% to 50%. I like that. This is something that I kind of suggested on a whim. I like the state, without going too much into it for another topic, I like the state of towers at the moment in the early stages of the game. I don't like the state of towers later in the game. So a guard tower getting a little bit more damage is going to be really, really nice, considering there's a lot more population at play. Architects, building hit points increased from 15% to 20%. Great. Building's going to be much, much stronger here. I like this because buildings do die quite quickly, and there are a lot of very, very useful building killing units out there. So this should help survivability in the mid to late game, I guess. All right, so we got some Pantheon changes. Achilles, nerf, 5.5 to 5.3. Atlanta, nerf, 5.75 to 5.6. What does this mean? Practically speaking, this means our fast myth units are going to be much, much better. I wouldn't be surprised here if Hades' win rate goes down because he's going to lose harder to Poseidon, and maybe Zeus's Centaur now are going to start having a lot of success versus him. I think they're 5.0 speed, 5.5 speed. I think they're 5.5 speed, so now they can outrun the Achilles. So they might have a little bit more success against Hades, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, Minor Gods, Hermes' Spirited Charge technology is now making those Centaur move a little slower. It's kind of a big deal. Zeus's Centaur are really going to be struggling with this one, but Poseidon's are still going to be very, very strong. 5.9 speed plus 5% is still going very, very quickly. I wouldn't be too worried about this if I'm a Poseidon player, but as the Zeus players, I will cry. Okay, Centaur, Hermes special attack, total pierce damage dealt from over 5 seconds reduced from 28 to 21. That is a large nerf. I'm not sure what this really means in terms of mass Centaur, because those raining of arrows fire 28 damage versus 21 damage if you've got 10 centaur raining fire down. That's still a boatload of damage. But early game, those centaurs aren't going to get those villager kills as easily, I don't think. That's a whole damage gone in that ring. And I think what that means is it's the same amount of time. Actually, how does that work, mathematically speaking? Yeah, it's going to be doing less damage on. The faster you react to it, the less damage you're going to take from this thing, and it's been taken down. So I think you're going to be able to escape those centaurs. So while Hades is going to struggle a bit more with the centaurs, he's also going to be able to survive a little bit easier. Okay, and we're going to be seeing the Karkanos myth unit getting adjusted a little bit. Now it has 900 HP, speed is now 5.0, damage on death is now 100 pierce. Man, I can see some very fun stuff here with that Karkanos on maps like Highland, where your opponent traverses that little ridge in the middle, that little like water canal thingy, whatever you want to call it. You run that Karkanos in on a bunch of Toxotes, boom. They're all dead. I'm pretty sure 100 PS is going to kill heavy Toxotes, is my guess. I think they got 60 HP, plus 10%, plus 10%, plus 10%. So 66, 72, 78. That took me too long to work out. Don't do math on live stream, children. Yeah, I think that's pretty crazy. I don't think their pierce armor is that high either. Nonetheless, Toxotes also rate of fire increased from 1 to 1.1, so attack slower. So these Toxotes are going to be hit with a bit of a nerf. I think they were performing very, very nicely. But what does this mean practically speaking? If the Toxotes, let's just say a really, really easy number, the Toxotes were at 10 damage. They're not, they're like 6 or something, 6.5, 5.5, I don't remember. Let's say they were at 10 at 1 rate of fire. Now they're 1.1 rate of fire. It's something like 10 divided by 1.1 is the damage, the DPS they're doing. So they're doing less DPS. Don't quote me on the math. Skin of the Rhino technology, research time reduced from 30 to 15 seconds. Okay. Lovely. This is only going to cost 1 villager to get this technology. It's a little bit strong. I would say this technology is a good technology to grab, but considering villagers are much weaker early game, I don't think grabbing this early game is that useful. Maybe it is. Maybe it's still really, really good, and this is just going to be pushing Ra over the moon, because you're not going to be able to raid Ra that easily. Especially now with the attack move on villagers as well. Have to wait and see. I mean, this technology, it's only 15 seconds, so it's only a villager. So it was going to be overpowered if it was overpowered anyways, but we'll have to wait and see how that's going to go. Sobek, Locust Swarm, God Power, Divine Damage increased from 0.3 to 0.4. What does this mean? It means if you do not react to Locust Swarm, your villagers will die. Locust Swarm is now really good. It's not a crazy God Power. You can still escape from the Locust Swarm with good decision-making or quick decision-making from moving your villagers, but they will die. Plus, 0.4 damage means even better against enemy army. So Sobek, I was already thinking Sobek is pretty decent. I think Sobek is now very, very pickable by both Isis and Ra. Thoth, Meteor, God Power, crush damage reduced from 750 to 580. Town centers can now take an additional Meteor strike before being destroyed, and a second one if Masons has been researched. Wow. I'm fairly sure Meteor is just very, very rarely going to be taking out a town center. To go off a little tangent, I know we're doing a patch notes thing. My least favorite thing about the Meteor is how random it is. Like some games I kill a town center, some games I don't. And now it's going to be even more, you're going to see even more games where it doesn't kill the town center. Now, good, bad, you be the judge. It's still going to be able to absolutely massacre villagers. So you've really got to fan those villagers out if they're under the town center. But garrisoning them into the town center, probably going to be a safe way to go, as that especially if you've got Masons, as it's probably not going to kill the town center. And if it yeah, it's probably, and if it does, you've already used an extra shot on it or two, and that means the villagers popping out will not have another shot coming in. We'll have to wait and see if Thoth is, if Meteor is going to be any good. All right, another nerf for Value of the Kings now gives free units less quickly. After the upgrade is researched, the training rate of Migdol, Stronghold, and Barrack, while being empowered by a pharaoh, has been reduced. The effect was already present, but has been made more pronounced. Okay, so this is just taking the total resources that a Migdol Stronghold, empowered Migdol Stronghold, is basically getting you per minute. I think it was somewhere in the vicinity of 1,200 to 1,400, depending on what unit you were building, depending on how many upgrades, levy conscript upgrades you had. So I don't know what it's, well, here it says here. With levy and so this is at max upgrade speed, you're getting 12.06. You're getting an extra elephant every 12.06. So in the course of a minute, that's something like 5-ish, just over 5-ish elephants. Quick math on that one for those of you playing at home. What is it, 180 and 90? I don't think that's quite correct. I can't remember what it is. I'm going to lock in 180, 70. I think that's what it is. It's not, but now we're at 1250 for elephants. I think it's less resources than that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you see what that's kind of the math now. So you're getting less resources now. If it was 1400 before, 1250 now, even less. Okay. Don't quote me on math in this video. Myth units. War Turtle, Myth Age naval units adjusted as follows. Cost reduced from 300 food, 15 favor to 225 food, 15 favor. Hit points increased. Wow. Damage increased from 42. That's a big buff for the War Turtle. Absolutely love this. I think Myth units on the water should be strong, and Mythic Age Myth units on the water should be the strongest. Or at least feel like they have a very different role to the other myth unit that they've got in the heroic age. Okay, minions, NERFED, Ancestors, God Power, Mummy, Special Attack, Spawn, adjusted as follows. Bonus damage versus heroes reduced. Good. Movement speed reduced. Let me think about this quickly. What does this actually mean? This means set is going to be... Okay. This is what it means practically speaking. This means Ancestors Eclipse on economy is going to be less strong because the minions are going to be able to move around less fast to get damage done. And that means your villagers are going to be able to pop out, start gathering, and you're going to it's going to be less oppressive on the economy. In fights, you're not going to feel this. I think Ancestors is still going to be good, or as good as it was in fights. And yeah, so it's, I think this is a strict nerf to Ancestors Eclipse on economy. Okay. Locking that in, I think that's a good change there as well. Mercenary adjusted as follows. Bonus damage versus cavalry increased from 1.25 to 1.5. Hack damage increased. Mercenary chain time reduced from 2 to 1. Mercenary push increased from 85 to 90. Wow. Okay, so I could be wrong about this, but it feels like the devs are trying to give the Egyptians a late game boost here with this mercenary. My initial gut reaction from this is that it's not going to give them any help in the late game, but we'll have to wait and see. My initial gut reaction is this is not going to be felt at all. No one was building mercenaries before though, so maybe they'll try it now. And people who were building mercenary, they were building like a total of maybe 3 on an average, on like not an average game, on like an off game where it's like, oh, I could build some mercenary to help me out in this fight here. So, okay. Town Center, this is Norse Pantheon. Town Center, Villager Center, and Citadel are no longer minus 10% wood cost and minus 10% hit points. Okay. Bit of a nerf to the Norse town centers there. But they got HP. Oh, cool. Okay, I like this. They're the same stats as everyone else. Happy days. That means they're going to be able to survive those meteors that just got nerfed as well. Okay, Major God bonus. Infantry building speed reduced from 25% to 10%. This has no practical change in this game, Age of Mythology. I think that, yeah, of course you're going to be able to fight a very small amount less. Or maybe it's a big change to like a far second town center Loki player. I didn't even actually know this was a major god bonus. It shows how much I know this game. Okay. So yeah, the town center is going to go up a little bit slower. That means you're going to get villagers out slower. It means it is a practical loss of resources here. But in terms of building houses or building long houses or building great halls, very, very small nerf to the early game of production of units. And after that, every other building you're going to be throwing up, probably, I don't think you're going to feel it. I think it's just on town center. I think this is just that initial town center you're going to feel. Everything else is like, you've got 1 billion units on it anyways. It's going to get shot up really quickly. All right, Golem Burst, God power, no longer inflicts friendly fire with its basic attack. Lovely. Minor God, Hell, Granite Blood Technology, Rock Giants. Hit points reduced from 40% to 20%. Hey! They nerfed it. I was enjoying this. This was way broken. It might still be strong, but it was so good. I was having fun with that. My opponents weren't. I wasn't when I was on the receiving end of it. But Yorman Elva, Mythic Age Naval, bonus first myth units reduced from 3 to 2. So a little bit of a nerf for the Yorman Elva. This thing is still an absolute beast, especially at picking off units from the shore. Hyperion, Chaos, God Power adjusts as follows. Minimum duration reduced from 3 to 2. Maximum duration, Chaos maximum duration reduced from 60 to 50. Chaos repeat cost increased from 10 to 20. I'm pretty sure I didn't know how Chaos worked before. I think if you cast Chaos on like one unit, it lasts for 60. It used to last for 60 seconds. Shows how much I know about this game. I was just using it on the army as much as I possibly can. Mate. Guys, I think the best way to use Chaos is to use it on as little units as you possibly can, but make sure they're all counter units. So if your opponent's got an army sitting there of, I don't know, 30 spearmen, 30 slingers, position that Chaos on the slingers at the back. Don't overlap onto the spearmen, and all those slingers are going to get hit, and you're going to lose all those slingers. There you go. To be honest, I haven't played a whole lot of Atlantean. I wasn't enjoying playing with that Chaos God power as strong as it was. It was kind of feeling like I was cheating to get wins. Plus, there was a whole bunch of other things going on in terms of bugs with Atlantean. So maybe I'll play some more on this patch, see how this feels. I like the change. I like this extra plus 20 per favor per cost. It was a very, very cheap, very, very strong God power. But this is a fairly hefty nerf for Chaos. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, Tarkarian Gate, God power is adjusted as follows. This was a terrible God power. Now it's much better, it looks like. It's going to have a lot of survivability. Spawns, wandering. Okay, get more spawns as well. Lovely. That's great. I don't know if this is good or bad now, but it's better. And I'm definitely going to give it a try and see what happens. Atlas Implode God Power adjusts as follows. Escape radius increased from 35 to 40. Now sucks units even faster. Now reveals line of sight to all players. Yeah, Atlas, this Implode was getting really, really easy to run away from. So yeah, I like that. Okay, Thea, bug fixed. Rhea, bug fixed. I can play Atlantean again. We're going to be playing some Atlantean in coming videos. I'm very excited to try them out in a little bit more serious way. I was enjoying Gaia already to some degree, but we're going to be jumping in and having some fun here. Mana War, Mythic Age Naval Units, Divine Damage increased from 25 to 40. This is a lot of divine damage. 40 divine damage. It's not quite a Son of Osiris. I think Son of Osiris is 60 divine damage from off the top of my head. But not quite not quite a Son of Osiris. Not sure what the rate of fire is on this unit because I think I've only used it once, and even then I didn't use it. It just was kind of there. So can't comment how much DPS this unit's actually doing. I think it's probably going to be somewhere in the vicinity of 10 to 20 DPS. I guess it's probably like 2 to 3 rate of fire. But yeah, this hefty buff for the Mana War, it's going to be really good. I imagine it's actually going to get absolutely bodied by some other myth units, but I think the idea is that it's supposed to be comparable, so we'll see. Caladria, Oceanus adjusts as follows. Hit points reduced from 125 to 80. Wow. Caladria. Hack armor down from 10 to 5. Atlantean players panic. That is a big Oceanus nerf there. Big, 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 big. I don't know how many axes we'll be have. Maybe you can kill the Caladria with throwing axe from now. Maybe. Caladria can dodge axes in the classical age, though. Automaton Leto, train time reduced from 12 to 10 seconds. Okay. They're trying to make Leto great again. Let's make Leto great again. Human units. Caraballas from Caraballas to Hero are no longer affected by draft horses and engineers as they were already affected by range soldier upgrades. Great. They're not siege weapons. They are range soldiers. Fantastic. Highland. Hybrid connections are now wider, introducing a third shallow crossing variation in 1v1. Bam, bam, bam. Are you guys going to play some Highland now? This is actually quite nice. This is meaning that I can go for a land naval assault much easier. I can attack here with my dudes. I can attack here with my dudes. I can attack here with my dudes. So I don't have to go all in on the water. I can go half in on the water, half in on land, and have a great fight there on those shallows to defend them. In the center, for example, I can try and defend there with a whole bunch of units. If I get pushed back, I can defend on the other spot. I like that change. I think my honest preference here is some sort of like full shallow situation going on the entire thing, just because I want to see what it looks like. I don't know if it'll be good or not, but alas, we're getting closer to it though. Happy days. All right, modding fixed a bug causing changes made by players in the scenario editor to interfere with the ability to participate in multiplayer. Good. Units added through custom map scripts will now appear in the controller ring menu. Good. Fixes the additive mods, including for bug causing additive mods to apply it to Zeus instead of the major god. Okay, fantastic. And investigations, fantastic. If you know any other things, you can go to this page and you can see what they know. That is the patch. That is 37 minutes. My name's Boit. If you have any questions about here or something you didn't understand, definitely leave a comment in the down below, and I'll endeavor to find the answer for you and respond. And I'll see you guys in the next one.